think it's time. I've been living in a toxic relationship with this iPhone for way too long now, and I don't know, I just can't keep ripping out my hairs every single time I use this phone when there's just so many other devices calling my name, yet I don't think I can live without this phone. Or can I? Alright, so the iPhone 16 Pro Max 5 months later. I've honestly pushed the capabilities of this phone to the max over this period of time, especially as a tech creator and a student who relies on this for my livelihood. And while yes, a lot of the problems I had with the iPhone 15 Pro Max has been fixed, there are still a couple of annoyances that irk me about this phone, but also one singular, well maybe two but not really reasons why I haven't switched to an Android for my primary phone yet, despite carrying the lovely Pixel 9 Pro with me through this time, and recently the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and now the OnePlus 13. But honestly, I think I need a change, and this video is going to be my journey of figuring out whether or not to switch back to an Android phone, and I'll have to make a decision by the end of the video, so let's get through this together. First off, I want to vent out all the reasons I dislike this phone and what improvements I've noticed with this latest iteration, and biggest of all is the lagging and freezing, which I had a horrible experience with on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I can gladly say that the freezing has pretty much stopped 90% of the time now, but the lagging and micro jitters I notice randomly are still quite annoying sometimes, especially when I really need to use this phone at the moment. And no joke, every single time I whip out my camera to capture it, it goes away during that period of time, so it's literally impossible to get the evidence. But if you do a quick Reddit browse, there are so many threads about people experiencing the same thing, it's actually ridiculous. Now, next up is battery life, which I had such a big issue with on the 15 Pro Max. It was genuinely untrustworthy to leave the house without a power bank like the super slim one from Torras. On a 5G network, there was no way it was lasting more than half the day, and the standby time on the phone was just in the pocket was quite bad as well. I've said this in my impression video and it still stands to this day, but the battery life on the 16 Pro Max has honestly improved so much that it's a reason to upgrade alone in my opinion, and I honestly don't need to worry about this lasting me throughout the day. And funny enough, I stopped carrying around MagSafe power banks because I would never ever use it anymore. Even during super long days in CES at Vegas, where I was filming all day, the battery was good enough to film tons of clips without needing a recharge, which is super useful. The good stuff doesn't just stop there though, because the Wi-Fi issues I was having from the 14 and 15 Pro Max, all gone. The Wi-Fi chip no longer craps itself at random times, and the connection is just as stable as my other devices as well. The only thing that still gripes me is the reception on this phone in terms of cell signal and data, as I still find Android phones to be more reliable and have consistently better coverage. Oh, you know what else is really funny? Apple Intelligence doesn't even show or work on my iPhone despite all the settings being turned on, and no one I know can figure out why I'm still stuck with the old crappy Siri, which sucks by the way, but I've always knew Apple Intelligence was gonna be a gimmick anyways, so I don't really care. Hardware wise though, this phone has always been amazing as well, and all the disappointments I had for the natural titanium color is gone now because I genuinely really love this color, as it just looks so nice with this warm inviting tone to it, not to mention looking awesome with cases such as this one from Torras. The bigger 6.9 inch screen thanks to the slimmer bezels actually turned out to be a great upgrade as well, because who doesn't love more screen real estate? And something I noticed was the auto brightness for some reason just works so well this year. Like I barely need to adjust it at all when switching between different environments, which is cool. The full experience of the amazing haptics and the best sounding phone speakers on the market also remind you why this is an iPhone, and like for reals, the speakers still blow any other phone out of the market, and it's not even close, and always something I miss when I'm not using the iPhone. But after all, hardware didn't really change much other than the addition of the camera control button, which is the perfect timing to talk about because Alright, you've probably heard this saying 100 million times already, but the best camera is the one that's in your pocket, and that's seriously the one reason why I use this phone, like no jokes at all. And yes, I know there's so many other phones that have equally great or even better cameras, but there's still one reason why I choose the iPhone, and I'm gonna explain that to you guys. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video that makes the shooting experience so much easier. And that's Torras with their O-Stand 360 spin cases, which are genius as they combine a phone case, MagSafe magnets, a phone phone ring, and a kickstand all in one. The magnetic ring in particular that rotates 90 degrees very satisfyingly lets you slide your fingers in for a more stable grip, which is not only more stable than gripping the edges of the phone, but makes pressing the physical shutter button or the on-screen button much easier when shooting. You know what else is easier in this case? Hands-free shooting without a tripod, because not only is the ring useful for watching videos during your lunch breaks, but you can actually prop up your phone to shoot videos not only vertically, but even for horizontal videos, and the amount of times I've been saved while shooting vlogs with this phone is insane, especially when I don't carry a tripod around all the time. Alright, but instead of just talking, let's bring you on a little adventure inside the mall so we can find some unique filming setups with this phone case. First target found. You see these handles on these metal boxes over here? I can just kick out the stand, put that in right over there, and kaboom, look at that. Ooh, awesome. Do you see these little things that stick out from the shelf over here? I can grab this and just hook the phone on very carefully, and boom, look at that. Genius. No way, I actually got this ring to hook onto a little branch inside like the tree. That's crazy. Oh my god. New angle unlocked. Alright, while I'm chilling here drinking coffee, you know what else I discovered that you can do with these cups and straws? Boom. Literally use it as an elevated platform for your phone to film yourself, which is actually so cool. And last but not least, because this case is magnetic, if you actually manage to find something that's magnetic, you can actually stick it on just like this. Watch. Kaboom! Look at that. Is that not insane? And of course, MagSafe mounts are perfect for filming in the car. I literally have this phone case permanently on this phone from day one, and if you're serious about filming content with your phone, this case will make your life so much easier. Definitely check out their product links down below in the description and the pinned comments, and thank you so much Torras for sponsoring this video as well, and also supporting the channel like always. Anyways, let's get back to the review, and as we just saw from the little mall segment of all the unique filming positions of the awesome Torras cases, this iPhone is a content creation machine, and honestly, if I wasn't in a tech niche where quality matters so much, I would gladly use the iPhone for its convenience, portability, and just great quality that you can capture. And let's first start with video, because I think it is one of the main reasons why I choose to always have an iPhone in my pocket at all times. The video quality by default is just unmatched by any of the phones on the market right now, being extremely sharp and detailed for a phone sensor. It has amazing dynamic range that retains the shadows and the highlights well, consistent colors between all three lenses of the phone, and most importantly, seamless switching between those lenses. I push the phone to the max, filming a ton of content and vlogs when I don't have my camera available, and it's never once crossed my mind to switch to a different device for this reason. Not to mention, I think something so important is the fact that using a phone in some scenarios makes it feel less like working as a content creator rather than bringing a big fat camera with you, and allows you to be just present in the moment and enjoy times with your friends while capturing fun memories. Let me just throw in a little vlog section from my recent trip in Vegas to show you what I mean, and you'll also see my other fellow content creator friends do the exact same thing. It's going faster. Oh, wait, stay. Oh shit, stay, it's vibrating.
Whoa. Hey.
Yeah, so as you can see, you're not going to be able to capture such intimate and on-the-fly memories while lugging a giant camera around. And if you want to watch my whole week in Vegas with this phone, by the way, I'll leave the link up here so you can check it out, and it's awesome, so check it out. Anyways, the point is, I actually sometimes decide to use this phone intentionally in my produced videos to just show, casual, unplanned moments to add a little bit of texture and more storytelling inside as well. Or sometimes, if we're at a busy event venue or keynote presentation, sometimes it's just easier to use the iPhone to get long-range zoom shots or quick video shots for fast turnarounds, which is why when I was at CES in Vegas, I literally shot almost half of my social videos on this phone to post on behalf of Best Buy Canada, all while using the wonderful DJI mics to capture great audio directly into this phone. It just makes life so much easier. But not only is this iPhone great for capturing these casual moments, but when you want to get serious, there are just so many pro tools at your disposal, such as my favorite one that I recommend to everyone, the app Kino. It's absolutely game-changing, and basically what it allows you to do is shoot in a log format, which if you don't know what that is, you probably won't use it. But in short, it's like a raw, super flat, uncolored video output that's used for more creative flexibility when coloring clips, and not to mention the higher quality that it's captured in. But instead of using the default log option in the camera app, which actually shoots in like crazy high file sizes, Kino lets you choose between different codecs to save space, and not to mention there are a bunch of built-in LUTs, so you don't need to do all that conversion and coloring on your own after filming, and the output from it just looks so beautiful and nice that it saves so much time and makes me second guess if I really want to bring my big fat camera around for certain shots sometimes, especially when I'm in public. And speaking of being able to have creative control over coloring, photographic styles has got to be one of the best features that Apple has introduced on their phones in a while, at least to me, because being able to adjust the way the iPhone captures photos by default in a stylistic direction that I want without needing to add it after the fact is actually so game-changing. There's so many different options to choose from that you'll be able to find one that you like, and the fact that you can adjust the style to your own liking after the fact is just a cherry on top. And if you're wondering what my favorite style is, it's definitely gold for sure, as I just love a bright and warm picture. ProRAW on this phone also captures photos in a RAW format using the full megapixel count on the sensor, and it just has so much detail, it's absolutely insane and incredible, and sometimes it's almost as good as using an actual camera, not to mention the benefits of having amazing flexibility for editing afterwards. And about that camera control button, yes, it's still absolutely a gimmick in my opinion, but to my surprise, I actually really enjoy it, and it's now ingrained into my muscle memory to use it. I don't use any of the fancy controls on it though, because it's so frustratingly hard to use, but as a camera launch button to open your camera quickly, it's genuinely super useful, especially when I flip the phone around to take like an ultra-wide selfie or video of myself. Okay, I've literally been rambling on and on about random stuff in such a disorganized order, but that's all my messy thoughts on literally just how much I really enjoy and rely on this camera for my content creation. But on a serious note, the social media experience plays a big role because you literally must use an iPhone to be able to post content and capture content in these social media apps at the best quality, not to mention have all the latest features to be able to do my job. On Android, you get serious problems like Instagram stories is looking terrible and the viewfinder lagging, tons of bugs inside social media apps that just ruin the experience, and just actual limitations you won't find on iPhones that make it just an unusable experience. And I've lost count of how many times I've said this in a review already, but I just need and rely on this phone for my job as a content creator. That being said, I said I was breaking up the iPhone and I wasn't clickbaiting because, for the past 2 weeks, I've actually been already cheating on it with the OnePlus 13, which is honestly one of the most amazing devices I've used. Like, I mean it, because my primary SIM card for all things personal is actually on this device now, and I think keeping the iPhone as my, quote-unquote work phone not only leads to a much better work-life balance, so I can separate the way I use both phones, but also give me a better experience in my day-to-day life because, I am an Android enthusiast after all, and just prefer the way things work on Android. So, in short, I've actually moved to the OnePlus 13, and I've never looked back, in which, if you want to see all the reasons why, I'll have a ton of content coming up on my channel soon. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the end of the video, and if you're still here, you guys are honestly a champ for sitting through all this rambling and nonsense. Not to mention, I'm actually sick right now if you can hear, so I'm kind of dead. But yeah, thank you so much, and make sure to leave a sunglasses emoji down below so I know you're a real one. Also, huge shout out to Torras again for basically sponsoring my entire iPhone 16 Pro Max coverage, in which I absolutely love their team members and the entire lineup of their products as well. I'm so unbelievably grateful, in which I will also be as well if you guys could smash the like and subscribe button and check out the other awesome content on my channel. And on that note, have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay, I added I'll see you in the next one to the list.
Okay.